Friend that owes me a lot of money asks for favor, which turns into more and more favors. May not be the traditional CB that everyone is used to, but I think she's close enough to warrant a post. First, of course, backstory. I have a friend that used to live in my house, but now lives across the country. When she lived in my house, I cut her a really good deal because she's nice and I was trying to help her get herself back up on her feet after some financial struggles. I normally could have rented her room out for around $700 a month, but instead she paid me $400 a month with the understanding, written into the lease, signed, and understood by all, that at the end of the year, she'd move out and have another 24 months to pay me back $2,000. For those doing the math, that's $300 x 12 equals $3,600 saved, of which she had a full 2 years to pay me back the $2,000. The reason behind the math and delay was that she was trying to get her dream job, and living with me, which was right next to her current job, allowed her to work less hours and not pay for a car while she studied and trained. At the end of the year, she'd apply for this job, get it easily after spending a year training and studying, make good money, and after paying off her biggest impending debts, pay me back as well. I was doing okay financially, not struggling but absolutely not thriving, so I wanted to help someone achieve their dream job since it seemed so easy. Welp, a year passed and she was still there, no dream job. I didn't mind too much as she was a great roommate/tenant, but I had encountered some hard financial times and struggled to pay bills and really could have used that extra $300 a month. Suddenly, she texted me that she had to leave and couldn't pay the current month of rent but had left her car as payment. She had moved to a different state and left a broken down 1999 Plymouth Neon in lieu of $400 payment. I spent 2 months with it in my driveway trying to sell it and eventually sold it for $200. I asked her about paying me back the lease agreement, not the last month rent, since she clearly wouldn't be getting this dream job in another state, and she assured me she would once she got back up on her feet again. She never did. It's been maybe 8 years. Fast forward to recently and the CB portion. I talk to this girl maybe once every 6 months. I know she's moved multiple times. She messages me out of the blue saying she'll be back in town in a couple months, and since she knows I live by the airport, can I pick her up? Sure. Of course. Absolutely. I think nothing of it until the day before her trip and I message her to find out she's flying into an airport 2 hours away. Okay. My car gets good gas mileage, so it's only a 4-hour commitment in the middle of the day and about $15 in gas. I update my wife to tell her and she gets pissed and wants me to cancel on her, but I can't, even though I know CB purposely picked that airport to save maybe $50 and withheld the info from me until last minute. So I pick her up at the airport. As soon as she gets in, something feels off. I'd mentally prepped for this, so I just went ahead and asked the question, "Where am I dropping you off at?" since I didn't want to ride 2 hours with uncertainty. She said she thought I'd said it would be fine if she crashed at my place for the weekend. We had literally had 4 to 5 lines of communication over the last 6 months, and half was about how my new puppy was aggressive towards people at the house. I said flat no, that wouldn't work, and she got on her phone and was furiously typing for the next half hour. I later found that she'd reached out to all our mutual friends saying her plans fell through and she needs to couch surf for a weekend. She found a place with a friend of a friend of a friend, but it was an extra half hour out of the way. Also, she had tried to ask if she could meet the aforementioned puppy, but I also shot that down for a multitude of reasons, the least one being that I didn't want to even give her the opportunity to not find another place to stay. I dropped her off and thought that would be it. I was really frustrated and feeling taken advantage of. Oh, and I should also share that she wasn't vaccinated and seemed generally unaware/apathetic about the whole COVID thing in general, so that was fun to find out as she climbed into my tiny car and we spent almost 3 hours sharing oxygen after she flew cross-country. Surprise, she messaged me the night before she was leaving asking me to take her to the airport. I left her on red.